All right, people have been recommending that I cover this video for a while now, but I refused. I said no, for a few reasons. For starters, I thought that it could be a troll. Next, when I actually watched the video, the beginning of it, I've seen very little. I saw like the first 20 to 30 seconds. I immediately scrolled down to the YouTube channel and saw that it had like 100 subs, but the video had a few thousand views, and the pinned comment was like a copium comment saying, "Oh, thank you all for giving this video so much attention. I never dreamed this video would do so well." So I realized that even if this guy wasn't trolling, watching his YouTube video and covering it would just give him more attention, which would help his channel grow. However, a few things have changed in regards to circumstances that have changed my mind about this. I've decided to cover this video. For starters, he got banned from YouTube. His video was so bad, it got him banned from YouTube. Second, I saw a tweet of his on Twitter talking about his video getting banned, and he's doubled down on his positions and his political beliefs. So I don't actually think he's a troll. I think he did a little trolling, but I think he's actually like serious in what he believes, which means, with that said, there is no harm that can come from covering this video now. So I hunted down a re-upload of the video, and today we're going to watch Why We Need Racism by Achilles Argyle. Now, wow, there's already quite a lot to unpack here. So for starters, we've got the furry avatar of what appears to be a ram, a little mug here that says, "Are you offended?" And the furry avatar there has the smug smile. Now, I've been told this video is obscenely cringe to the point where you might want to kill yourself in a video game. So, yeah, the problem? Yeah, the DreamWorks face. Hold on. Wait. We've all seen this, right? This is like notorious in lefty political spheres because you every time a conservative makes like a really stupid dunk and they think they're hot shit, you can always imagine the conservative on the other end of like the call making this face. You know? Like the smug the smug DreamWorks face. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So yeah, perfectly personified here in this video. I'm not going to hold you guys up anymore. Let's just get right into it.
Now, before you all grab your pitchforks and storm into the comments section over the title of the video alone, let me just say that of course racism is bad. I wouldn't make a 10-minute video defending something so obviously terrible.
Yes.
Generations have been ruined because of racism, and lives are still getting destroyed by it.
Pepe.
However, I don't think we should be painting racism as entirely evil.
I'm sorry. This is the only way we'll be able to enjoy this video, okay? I still have to see it, but I'm gonna make I don't want my viewership to immediately drop, so I'm just gonna help you guys out, okay? I'm just gonna help you guys out and make this a little bit less hellish for you.
Evil because, well, there's a reason why people are racist, and that's not because people want to be bad. It's because there are objective benefits to being racist, and I don't think we should be discrediting these benefits.
Wait. No fucking way. Wait, watch the feet for a moment. I never thought I'd say this, but watch the feet for a moment.
There are objective benefits to being racist, and
You see that? He like layered or animated them moving. There's like a fucking toe twitch. All right, I'm covering this back up. All right, wait, can we... I'm sorry, the feet are going to be very distracting for this. I'm going to want to keep on... Wait, hold on. I can't. Okay. He's giving me the content here. I can't not, okay? For starters, all right? His persona is a ram, okay? Now, I understand that this isn't supposed to be, personas aren't supposed to be super realistic, but have you ever seen a ram in real life before? You'll notice that they have hooves. Wow, I'm actually covering up the ram's hooves here. You'll notice they have hooves. They don't actually have, like, feet. They don't have those. On top of that, even if they did have feet, they also don't have claws on said feet. So I don't know where the idea of putting, like, the type of claws you'd see on a dog or a cat on there, but, yeah, I'm scarred for life now. Okay, let's try our best to ignore the strange option, the strange, decision to add feet to this, and just go ahead and respond to the arguments.
People want to be bad. It's because there are objective benefits to being racist. And I don't think we should be discrediting these benefits with all this virtue signaling bullshit, because...
Nice. Holy shit, we're still getting big red in 2021. Oh, look. I'm sorry. I can't. Look, another one. We got another animation for the feet. Can't. Hold on. Can I just... No. Hold on. You know what? I'm punishing you all. I thought about maybe saving you from it. No, I'm gonna make you all look. I'm sorry. Stay mad. Stay mad. Ree! Stay mad. I'm making you all look. I don't care if my viewer count drops because of it. I'm making you all look. All right. Now, listen, okay? You ever notice how these anti-SJW types seem to... It seems like their brains are kind of stored in like a glass jar somewhere, and that jar is labeled 2016. The whole, like, arms crossed, furry, avatar, rant sona, big red. Hold on, what are the like four horsemen of the apocalypse? Like the four SJWs whose likeness is always used for like by reactionaries. Hold on, SJW face. What? There's like four of them, and you see them everywhere. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. All right, these are the big ones. All right, okay. You've got this person here who's like really like seems pretty angry, and they look like an SJW, short hair, glasses, all that. You've got Big Red, of course, who comes up. Deathmetal.org. Why do all SJWs look the same? Then you've got this individual who I don't even know if they're like an SJ. This person could be a Nazi for all we know. I know who these two people are. I know they're lefties, but this person could be a Nazi. You never know. Oh wait, hold on. And then where's Trigglypuff? I guess this person hasn't been immortalized as much. Where's Trigglypuff? You guys remember Trigglypuff? Yeah, this lady. Yeah, then there's Trigglypuff. You don't see Trigglypuff around as much anymore, but they're around. And what's the final one? Hold on. Green shirt SJW. What was the? This one didn't come up. Green short SJW. Thank you, Google. I appreciate that. Well, I couldn't find it, but it's that one SJW who does the. Hold on. No. It's this one. The screaming SJW. There we go. That's the one. Yeah. Here we go. This individual, the one angry one that looks like the Trigglypuff, and then Big Red. It's those four. And all of these images are from 2014 to 2016. And yet in 2021, we're still using them as mascots for progressive people on the left. Now, let's continue our suffering.
We are seriously reaching a low point in history without racism. A lot of people don't know this, but racism is actually the natural state for a lot of people, and has been for most of history. By forming
Ooh, interesting. The naturalistic fallacy. I want to say this right now. Something that pisses me off about conservatism is how little credit they give humanity. Every single other animal on Earth walks around naked, shits out in the woods or in the ocean or in whatever habitat they live in, have a very primitive, if any, form of communication, and the length of their technology is using sticks to extract grubs from trees, okay? I don't think appealing to the natural state of any species is a good way to argue that it's the right way to do things. There's nothing about computers and toilets and clothes that are natural. We have invented these things and use these things because it helps improve ourselves. Racism is one of these things that, by the way, I would actually discredit the argument that racism is natural. Racism is, for starters, very much learned. Maybe there's some level of tribalism or a desire to hang around with those that you most identify with or those that are most similar to you. But racism, hatred of other races, which race in itself is a social construct, is very much a taught thing, or at the very least is something that in most people, if they have these inclinations while they're growing up, usually fades away with age and maturity and more life experience. So the argument that that it's like natural, racism is natural is, one, not a good argument, two, hardly true.
Exclusive groups, people are able to be amongst like-minded individuals, and the people infight significantly less. This is because people who think the same don't...
Hold on. What group do you think has more in common? Do you think a white person has more in common with a black person? Sorry, a white person from Florida has more in common with a black person from Florida than a white person from Florida and a white person from New York? Or make it even better, a white person from Texas and a white person from New York? Because I'll tell you what, where you live, even in this country, has a lot, even in different areas of a state. People in Austin, like a white person, a black person living in Austin, Texas, or like Houston, probably have more in common with each other than a white person living in Houston or Austin and like a white person living out in the Kona-ass, like middle of nowhere farm country in Texas, okay? I think the divide of race with most people isn't nearly as big as someone like this fucking dude would lead you to believe.
Don't often come into conflict. Grouping together also provides a sense of pride. I mean, think about it. If you're surrounded by people like you, that think like you, and most importantly look like you, then you feel like you belong. That's a good feeling. Segregation is an objective good in its utility because it leads to the formation of ethnostates, and ethnostates are historically proven to last longer than states that embrace polyethnicity. I mean, look at China. They have over 5,000 years of history because they are discriminatory and wary of other races, while also cooperating.
Holy shit. Well, honk honk, mask off, if you know what I mean. No, wait, hasn't China been, like, rife with infighting for all of its history, essentially? Also, China's doing an ethnic genocide right now to the Uyghur Muslims, so there's that. No, China's not a good example of an ethnically homogenous society that has succeeded. So, for starters, the idea... Okay, holy shit. This is completely bankrupt of any understanding of history. 99% of the societies and nations and states that have existed in history have died, okay? If we're talking about modern history, pre-modern history is a lot longer than what's going on now. So most societies have died, okay? For starters, okay? Now, the idea of race as we see it now and racial... what's the word for it? Diversity is still pretty new, okay? Up until recently, due to lack of technology, the world was still pretty self-contained, as far as, like, different ethnicities living together in the same areas go. There was, you know, here and there you had exceptions, but for the most part, you typically didn't see a lot of, like, black people living in, you know, where the UK is now 1,000 years ago, because it's kind of a pain in the ass to get from Africa to where the UK is now. But now we've got much better technology, so that's a much more common thing. By the way, he does know that America, which is probably the most, like, I would actually argue probably one of the most diverse, if not the most diverse country on the planet, is also the most powerful and successful country on the planet in basically every metric besides healthcare.
With their own.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I was right. Yeah, China's history is rife with infighting.
The Chinese have been able to survive for as long as they have. China is an ethno-state, and referring to what I said earlier, an ethno-state with a racist population provides a sense of national pride and identity, and thus prevents...
Do we remember what he said at the beginning of the video, by the way? By the way, racism is bad. I can't stress this enough, okay? Now, this guy is obviously an extreme example of a conservative, of like a racist conservative, but every time a conservative says, I'm not racist, but this is essentially the exaggerated form of what they're doing, okay? They all think like this. Every time they do the I'm not racist, but this is always what they believe.
Prevents infighting and strengthens the country. When you work, create, and fight, you are doing so for the betterment of the people you care about, your own people.
Oh, you know what other country is also a borderline ethno-state with an extremely homogeneous society? Japan. And Japan is is experiencing massive decreases in pregnancy and childbirth, and rapid increases in the suicide rate. So yeah, I don't know if ethnically homogenous societies are the best to pull inspiration from when you look at other examples as well. Also, China also kind of fucking sucks to live in. Very, very authoritarian state. China's not exactly the most fun place to live. You know, the Great Firewall of China as well, limiting the access of content on the internet. I mean, there's plenty of stuff I could talk about China. It's not exactly the best place to live.
Distinct race. On a side note, this is why Kurdistan should not be a real country. It doesn't deserve to be one. Kurds say they need independence, but the difference between the Kurds and the Turks is entirely cultural and not racially related at all. If the Kurds were to just accept their racial disposition, then they would be a united state. Living within an...
No, Turkey is genociding them. Wait. No, this has to be a troll. That he's not... I know there are conservatives this stupid and this, blatantly wrong, but I feel like the way the video is going, where he just keeps, he'll be like, wait, but I have one more dog shit unpopular opinion to bring up. I feel like this has to be... how did we get to, the Middle East and the Kurds and Turkey genociding them? What?
Ethno-state creates an us versus them mentality, and it's been proven time and time again that having a defined, tangible enemy that is perceived to be pure evil unifies a people. By comparison, blurring the lines of morality with the...
Whoa! Wait, did you see that? Did you guys fucking see that?
By comparison, blurring the lines of morality with all this not all black people talk just weakens everyone's resolve. Take Osama bin Laden in the war on...
Did you see it? You see the toe twitch, chat?
United State. Living within an ethno-state creates an us versus them mentality, and it's been proven time and time again that having a defined, tangible enemy that is perceived to be pure evil unifies a people. By comparison, blurring the lines of morality with...
You guys see that? You guys fucking see that? This furry is so cringe, I'm crying. Listen. Furries will never not be cringe. Okay? If you're in chat right now and you're watching and you're a furry, I'm sorry. I will always find you cringy. There's nothing you can do to stop that. If you're a good person, I'll respect you, but I'll never not find being a furry. I'll never find that to not be fucking cringy. Alright? It'll always be fucking... It will elicit the most guttural feeling of disgust in my bones every single time I see a furry. And there's nothing you can do about that. I'm sorry. Also, this feels like it has to be a troll. The dude's doubled and tripled down on Twitter, but God, this feels like it has to be a troll.
With all this not all black people talk just weakens everyone's resolve. Take Osama bin Laden in the War on Terror, for example.
Okay.
People rallied behind the tangible goal of killing Osama bin Laden, and everything was great. But once he was gone, suddenly the enemy was terrorism itself. Not any one group or person. It could have been anyone. What were we supposed to do then? It's not like we can go and just shoot terrorism dead. This is why we need people like Osama bin.
Wait, that's not an argument for racism, though. That's an argument for having an individual who is bad to label as the enemy. Wouldn't the correct argument be? I feel like he's actually destroying his own argument here. Society felt way more united whenever we all hated Osama bin Laden, but then once he died, by the way, this isn't true, but by his logic and how he's describing it, it would be. Then everybody started to turn their attention towards brown people and like particularly people from the Middle East and Muslims as a whole. And they started to be discriminated against because there wasn't a focus on a particular group or person that was viewed as the enemy, which caused a lot more infighting in our society. So wouldn't this be an argument against what he believes, that rather than hating, being united against a race or ethnicity or religion, it would be best to be united in hating a person or problem or thing?
Bin Laden and groups like Muslims, and why we need to hate them. The politically correct may preach that globalization is the only way
this has to
things
be a
should
troll.
But a divided world gives states and people true independence, and thus responsibility for
This
our
has
own
to be a
mistakes
troll.
and development. I know I personally feel that certain races contribute significantly less than others to our culture, such as Mexicans and Indians. And the best way to avoid
Wait, are the feet getting the feet are getting greener and like sweatier as they go? Hold on. If this is a troll, this has to be a troll. Listen, there are furries that are into this kind of shit, but if this is a troll, this is the greatest troll I've ever fucking seen. And this dude, if this dude was trolling, he does not deserve to have been banned from YouTube. Rather, he deserves to have been given a trophy, a fucking trophy for pulling off the best troll on the entire internet. Okay. At the beginning, I was like, okay, this seems like a video that like your average anti-SJW rant Sona furry avatar type dude would make. But now it's getting so excessive and so mask off and so stereotypical and extreme that I feel like it has to be trolling. Please tell me this is a troll.
This is simply to divide people by race. Suddenly, there would be no more races writing on the achievements of others, or even the mere perception that some group is leeching off of our own hard work.
What is he
Our
talking
achievements
about?
can be credited only to ourselves. Racism puts people in check. When
There's
you're
like a-
constantly critical of another race.
There's like a green, he put his feet down, thank God, but there's still like a green smoke cloud floating around after he put him down.
Racist actions, you're going to call them out on it at any chance you can get. This is far preferable to the alternative of being blindly accepting of all of a race's mistakes, something we do so
does
much in
that
today's
mean?
political climate. This can be
What does that mean? Being accepting of... Okay, I want to say this right now. Even if this video is a troll, there are many people who do believe this, which is why it's still worth covering the video. So, for starters, I'll bite the bullet on this one. There are people out there who are so brain dead with like idpol that they do make excuses for like bad behavior of somebody simply because they are part of a particular race, right? There are people out there on the hellscape of Twitter that will make excuses for I don't know, like here's a good example. Recently there was a cop who shot and killed a 16-year-old girl who was black. Now, the caveat is the cop shot this girl while she was in the process of attempting to stab another girl to death. And there were people, a lot of people on Twitter, making excuses for that girl and attacking the cop when, of all the cases for a cop to shoot someone, I'd say when that person is in the process of attempting to murder another person with a knife is a good example of that. And I swear to God, if I see anyone in chat try to say, well, he should have just tased her, I will ban you instantly, okay? We've already gone over this argument. You're stupid. You don't know how tasers or police work, and you're stupid. There are people out there that make excuses for that type of stuff. However, the vast majority of people, even on the left, even in progressive spaces, don't do this, okay? And we can criticize those that do engage in this without criticizing all of the group. Same goes for when it comes to race. Criticizing somebody who is part of a certain race for a bad thing that they do is not racism. And that criticism does not extend to all people of that race.
Seen with the whole COVID-19 epidemic. The virus was caused by China. There's no way around that. It started in China because some Chinese idiot ate a bat, and it spread because the Chinese government was unwilling to be honest about the severity of the virus. In spite of this, people are defending China and shunning away anyone calling the virus the Chinese virus or the Wuhan virus. The virus came from China, and it's somehow wrong to call the Chinese out for it? Blind acceptance and aid of other countries is actively screwing us over. I mean, Africa is leeching resources from the first world, all because some liberal politician sees that their skin color is dark and takes pity on them. So they funnel food and water to them, instead of the hardworking men, women, and children in their own country.
Oh yeah, this is a troll.
Africa be left to their own devices to figure it out for themselves? Similarly...
Hey, yeah. Maybe Africa should have been left to their own devices to do things themselves, you know? Thousands of years ago. Before slavery and colonization fucked them over, you know? Maybe Africa would look a lot like the rest of the world in regards to technological advances, wealth, and status of living if colonialism hadn't essentially broken them down to the point of being behind the rest of the world.
Syria is pouring rapists and murderers into Europe, and people are just making the gates into Europe even wider to accommodate them. What a surprise, the rapists and murderers...
By the way, per capita, refugees from Syria are underrepresented in crime in Europe, by the way. The only refugee or immigrant group in Europe that is overrepresented in crime compared to the native population are people from North Africa. And that's it. That's like Morocco and stuff like that. That's the only group. So he's just blatantly wrong. Like, the stats completely disagree with this.
They willingly let into their country raped and murdered people. Oh, but they can't do anything else because they don't have the same rights as us. Oh, they're like this because of nurture, they say as they continue to let these primates fuck our countries. Maybe if...
This is a troll, by the way. No, hold on. Wait. Can we do a poll right now? Can we do a poll on whether or not we think this person's trolling? I believe that he's trolling 100% at this point. That, like, the starting off by saying, of course, racism is wrong, but now calling them primates, like, this is trolling as fuck, okay? This is... Type 1 in chat if you think it's trolling, 2 if you think it's serious. He's literally a furry, though? That is true. Furries are subhuman. That's a lot of ones. There are people in chat saying 2. There are people in chat that actually believe this isn't trolling. I hope the people typing 2 themselves are trolling.
They were told to stay in their own shitholes, they'd find that they have the same rights as in their own countries, and they'd figure out that the only way to find a better life is to start by bettering their own land and not by running away from it. In my opinion, the worst offender of all is India. They're pumping CO2 into the world like it's a competition. They're third in the world in terms of CO2 emissions. You know why? It's because they have a culture practically based entirely around...
I don't know what I'm supposed to say when he's talking about India putting out CO2, like shit tons of CO2, when his feet are turning the entire screen green with, like, stank. Oh, God. This video is hysterical. I'm glad I'm covering it. This video is fucking hysterical.
Being unhygienic. They eat shit and drink piss for breakfast, and they toss their mountains of trash and shit into the ocean. Take a wild guess as to what happens to the world when a country with this kind of disgusting culture industrializes.
Wait, what do you think is causing people to shit in the street or, I guess, eat poop? I don't think that's the thing that happens as much. What do you think is the reason that people do that? Do you think it's because they want to? Or it's part of their culture? Well, my nose is itching like crazy. It's called poverty, buddy. Believe it or not, people typically don't eat shit because they want to. Mostly. There are some fetishists out there that do that kind of shit, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of them. But that's poverty, my friend. Perhaps if we helped countries like this that are in poverty, these wouldn't be problems.
But all of these people get a pass with the wave of a hand because they're minorities and they're being marginalized. And don't even get me started on black crime statistics. Admittedly, white people do have their own shortcomings too, though they are less drastic than other races. They've only ruined pizza and Italian carbonara, which weren't too good to begin with, so not much loss there. If you've stuck with me thus far, then I need you to bear.
Also, white people have no lips. What is this, Durkasset? What is this? True. We shall participate in a minuscule amount of tomfoolery. And what the fuck am I witnessing here? Is this like a Roomba? This has to be like a Roomba or something. There's no way it's an actual cat with a blanket or something put over it, but that is a good image. I do like it. Cat Roomba. True. Oh. Big Xander Hall. Little Xander
again,
Hall.
As I realize what I'm about to say may sound bad. Nevertheless, I have to say this. Slavery is good. Every great civilization is built on the shoulders of disposable workforce. And it's even better if this workforce is perceived as having less rights than a regular citizen. And this loops back to my main point, why we need to bring back racism. Racism desensitizes us to slavery. During the golden age of America, slavery was running rampant, and no one batted an eye. And this was because blacks were considered less than human thanks to 3/5 compromise. That compromise let the American people take advantage of them without any adverse psychological effects.
Wait, wasn't the 3/5 compromise something that came after the abolition of slavery? I'm pretty sure the 3/5 compromise... No, that was something that came well after the abolishment of slavery, right? Because slaves couldn't vote, right? No? No, it was before? Oh, for census purposes. Ah, yeah. Never mind. I was wrong about that, yeah. No, okay, yeah. So basically, like, black people were considered 3/5 of a person whenever they would, like, do the census and count up how many people there were, which doesn't even make sense on a practical level. Not that anything racist does. He's failed to convince me of that. However, oh, look, the feet aren't stinky anymore. Nice. That doesn't even make sense on even anywhere even close to a practical level. Like, wait, wouldn't it just make the... Hold on. With the 3/5 compromise, wouldn't there be some point where there would be a non-whole number amount of people in the country? If you're counting up in fractions, eventually you're going to get to the point where, yes, America has, I don't know, like 600,346.5 people. Eventually something like that would happen.
Giving industry a massive boost and allowing America to develop into
it
the
was for
superpower
electoral
it
votes,
is
I know,
today.
but still.
You know why Trump says make America great again? It's because America used to be great. Used to be great because people used to be racist and own it. People wore racism like a badge of honor. Today we stigmatize racism.
That is what Trump meant when he said make America great again. He did mean make it racist again. That is true. True.
And thus America is no longer great again. We need slavery. We need a group of people who are expendable for manual labor. China has been doing this with their own people, and they've become a global superpower from absolutely nothing. Imagine how powerful we could be if we took advantage of minorities and the racially inferior. We need a group of people we can oppress and use.
This is trolling.
And that shouldn't be people of the same blood. Without a group to take advantage of, the populace becomes discontent due to the unnatural workload, and development stagnates. Okay. I realize I've been going on about the bigger picture for a bit too long, so what about the other side of things? How would being racist affect you, the viewer, positively? Well, to start with, we need to look at the basics of Jungian theory. Now, I don't expect many of you to understand this, as you kind of have to be in the know about this stuff, so I'll make this as simple as I can.
Alright, time to find out how being racist will help me. How can I benefit from being racist, chat? Let's see if I can be sold on this, okay? If I am sold on this, I will become racist on stream. I will become racist.
Jungian theory expands off of Sigmund Freud's structure of the human psyche, with the id being our basest, most purest form of instinct. Both theories have one thing in common. The idea that our subconscious, the deep, dark, and repressed id, has a concrete effect on our conscious actions. Jung takes this one step further, saying that in order to complete ourselves, we must accept this subconscious manifestation of ours, not to reject it. The yin completes the yang, just as racism completes the soul. Don't lie to yourself neither. Being racist feels good. You're repressing your inner hatred by refusing to be racist, by refusing to generalize a race into one offensive caricature. But really, deep in your subconscious, you know that that's what they really are. You can't live without strife nor negativity. You need those elements of human life to balance yourself. Accept it. Racism is...
To be fair, I am racist, and I do enjoy stereotyping a certain race of people, and that's the British, okay? That's the British, all right? I am racist towards British people. I do stereotype them as the, what is it, like the three-head? What is it? It's three-head, right? Is that the emote? Yeah, three-head. I do stereotype them as the three-head British people, limey bastards drinking their tea. Oi, fuck you, bruv. Oi, bruv. Oi, fuck you, bro. Yeah, no, I am. He is right about that. I do enjoy that, and I am racist towards British people. You got me there.
Chaos, and our minds are just as chaotic as it if we condemn racism deep down.
Ah, yes, the Chaos Dragon.
The world that the left strives for is a non-existent realm of perfect euphoria, something that literally cannot exist. And there is only one way it can exist, and let me tell you, it can only exist if we are not in it. I really hate that there's such a social stigma against being racist because it's served us so well before and yet we've cast it aside. It might sound like I've said some pretty hateful things, but I think by this point you should be seeing my point. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on racism. Here's to hoping this video gains some traction and actually changes something. Anyway, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I've got lots more to say. Leave a comment.
Unfortunately, he got banned. This is a top-notch troll. I like the, I do like this. This is actually a really good troll. It is a troll. It is. It 100% is. These are arguments made by actual racists, so it's still worth covering. And of course, it's also funny and good content, so it's still it's worth covering just because of that on its own. But I do feel like it's worth pointing out. This is just an exaggerated version of what like people like this, the Rant Sona Avatar anti-SJW types do believe. It's the logical conclusion of their beliefs, or at least a very exaggerated version of their beliefs. Like you have, it follows the what's it called, the formula perfectly. Here, let's go over a little bit of it again.
Now, before you all grab your pitchforks and storm into the comments section over the title of the video alone, let me just say that of course racism is bad.
Okay, so we start with the perfect bit. This is completely accurate to every one of these types of people, like the real ones that aren't trolling. They always say racism is bad. Of course, right? And you have like the DreamWorks face, like are you offended thing, and then later on we get the triggered SJW, and then all the arguments for why racism is good, actually, all very poorly substantiated and badly researched, if researched at all. And then, of course, finishing it off with, subscribe and everything like that. It's very good trolling. Am I glad that this person got banned? It's probably a good thing that their video got taken down. It's pretty clear it was just a troll video. It was probably going to be a one-off, and I doubt that they were going to make more videos. This person is probably pretty progressive, probably even a lefty, like, in real life, and they just decided to make, like, a troll video for content. And I think it was a pretty good troll, though, to be honest, there are a lot of people that think this way, and maybe if we're, Poe's law is a thing, right? If there is even one person who watches this and thinks that it's not trolling, then there's a problem, right? Poe's law is a dangerous thing. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon if you haven't already. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all links in the description. Join my fan Discord, subscribe and donate on my website, and super chat and hit the join button, become a channel member on YouTube, and pledge me on Patreon. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And hopefully you're not dead after all the cringe from that video. Even if it was a troll, it was still very cringy. And yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe, motherfucker, subscribe!